So let's look again at temperature and atmospheric CO2. About 460 MYA, MYA is millions of years ago, the temperature falls off a cliff. It goes almost straight down. And it stays in a cold equilibrium for about 20 million years, which would seem like a long time if you were there, but it's a fairly small slice of the graph. And then it shoots back up just as suddenly. But at the moment the temperature falls off a cliff, CO2 seems to be rising. Then CO2 starts falling just when temperature shoots up. They're simply not correlated. So then temperature goes along for a while, mostly stable, then drops down a bit around 380 MYA, but only maybe 2 degrees, and sits there for a while. And during this period, CO2 spikes, then it falls off a cliff. But temperature doesn't react for tens of millions of years. Then suddenly it falls off another one of these cliffs just before 300 MYA, and it stays down there for a geological while, perhaps 50 million years this time, and then whoosh, it shoots up again. Mercifully, because here you get the Triassic, then the Jurassic, and the spectacular flowering of life, the dinosaurs, one of the most breathtaking forms of life ever to inhabit the planet. And you go through the Triassic and the Jurassic, and you notice that atmospheric CO2 is cycling down and temperature's doing nothing. Then CO2 shoots up and temperature plunges at the Jurassic-Cretaceous boundary. But this one only goes down about 6 degrees, to 16, not down to 12, at another ice age. And fortunately, because when it rebounds in the Cretaceous, you get some of the most iconic dinosaurs you've ever seen, including T-Rex, Spinosaurus, and the horned dinosaurs, Triceratops and its cousins, who seem to have evolved symbiotically with flowering plants, another spectacular gift of a warm Earth. Because you notice again, all of this is happening on a planet thought to be about 10 degrees warmer than today. But contrary to alarmist predictions of disaster, drought, and fire, and flooding, and mass extinction, the Earth is extremely hospitable to life. And the temperature remains high through the Cretaceous. Though atmospheric CO2 is plunging, it has no effect on global temperature. It stays warm right through the tragic extinction of all non-bird dinosaurs. And then, after another dramatic blossoming of life on the planet, the coming of the mammals, including our primate ancestors, temperature starts to drop again. Not as rapidly as in past coolings, but for longer, bringing it to the unusually low temperatures we see today. Not only is this chart a picture of instability, it's a picture of unpredictable instability. No equation can describe this pattern. Not the temperature, not atmospheric CO2, and certainly not the relationship between them.